Trainer Jose Benavidez Sr. has publicly criticized Canelo Alvarez for his reported plans to face relatively unknown contender William Scull on May 3rd in Riyadh, followed by a high-profile clash against WBO super welterweight champion Terence Crawford on September 13th in Las Vegas. In a recent interview, Benavidez Sr. expressed frustration with what he perceives as Canelo's unchecked power in choosing his opponents. Jose Benavidez Sr., father and trainer of WBC light heavyweight champion David Benavidez, argued that Alvarez should be taking on top-tier opposition at 168 and even 175 pounds, rather than what he called circus-level matchups. Drawing comparisons to Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s late career choices, he suggested that Canelo may be following the same path. He also cast doubt on William Scull's credentials, noting that many fans are unfamiliar with the Cuban fighter, who most recently won a controversial unanimous decision over Vladimir Shishkin in Germany on October 19, 2024.
Yes. Scull, what the fuck has he accomplished, you know? I mean, at the end of the day, there we go again, you know? Who is Scull? I didn't even know who Scull was, you know? Now I read about him, I watched him a little bit. He's a good fighter. Terence Crawford, come on, you know, he looked really bad in his last fight. He's going up 2 divisions, you know? It's, come on, bro. It's like we try to go up and fight Usyk at heavyweight, you know? Come on, you know, no, David's not ready to do that yet, you know. So I don't think Crawford's ready to do that either, you know. I see a easy 2 fights for him, and that's what they want. The people allowed that, the organizations allowed that, so he's going to continue doing that. Why not? You know, that he could do whatever he says. He could do whatever he wants, and he's doing whatever he wants. So at the end of the day, you know, boxing has turned into something not that good. You know, before we used to have the Fernando Vargas fighting Sugar Shane Mosley, fighting Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez. You know, all these fighters. You know, fighting all these good fights, man. But at this point, right now, the only one that's fighting everybody is David Benavidez. You know, a challenge after a challenge. When he was going to fight Caleb Plant, they said that Caleb Plant was going to make him look bad. Boo Boo was going to take him to school and make him look ridiculous. David Morrell, the great school of Cuba, and you know those fighters you only see every 30 years, you know, and look what happened, you know. So I mean, those are the kind of fights that people want to see. But here, you know, they're doing a circus, you know, and you know Canelo does whatever he wants, and you know, I mean, good for him. People allow that. The organizations allow that, and you know, it doesn't matter what people say; they're still going to do it.
Turning to the proposed Canelo versus Crawford bout, Benavidez questioned the competitive legitimacy of the matchup, adding that the fight should have been contingent on Crawford first beating 2 credible opponents in the division. Instead, he argued, the Nebraska native is being fast-tracked into a massive payday after moving up 2 weight classes from 154 pounds. Benavidez concluded by lamenting the state of the sport, tracing its shift towards spectacle back to Mayweather's 2017 bout against MMA star Conor McGregor.
Here, you know, they're doing a circus, you know, and you know Canelo does whatever he wants, and you know, I mean, good for him. People allow that. The organizations allow that, and you know, it doesn't matter what people say; they're still going to do it.